So today let's look at Andreas Deja's book of The Nine Old Men, Disney's Nine Old Men, the Great Animators. It's called The Nine Old Men, Lessons, Techniques, and Inspiration from Disney's Great Animators by Andreas Deja. So I got this from my local library, mostly because I'm too much of a cheapskate to buy it. So you get good deals at the library. You can check books out. Anyway, so here's the first page of artwork, and we see drawings by the various Nine Old Men. Pretty sure that's Milt Call, Olly Johnston, Mark Davis, Frank Thomas, John Lounsbery, Ward Kimball, which leaves Les Clark. Might have done this or this. So, small smattering representation of them. Oh, one of them would have been Eric Larson. So, here's pictures of the nine old guys. There's their chapters. There's a picture of Andreas, who I got to meet a year ago at Cartoon Expo, CTN, out in Burbank. First chapter is about Les Clark. I think because he was, of the guys, the first one to join the Disney organization and worked his way up to animator. And we see a lot of his drawings here. That's what's great about books by animators about animators. You see more of the actual drawings instead of animation cells. Because as animators, we want to see what did the animator actually put down on paper. So these are really great photographs of drawings by the Nine Old Men. This is from The Country Cousin. And we see the country cousin eating a piece of cheese, shoving it into his mouth. Look how big his mouth gets to get this cheese. Shoves it in and starts to chew on it. Here's Mickey from Fantasia marching up and rolling up his sleeves. And he's putting a spell on the broom, turning it into a robot broom to do his water job for him. So here's Mickey doing another conducting job, the Symphony Hour. Great drawings of Mickey. And this is Wendy from Peter Pan. So a really wonderful book. Here's Willie Reitherman section. And a lot of drawings that are just magnificent. This is from Fantasia. The Tyrannosaurus beating up the Stegosaurus. Reluctant Dragon. Goofy. I guess that's from How to Ride a Horse or How to Play Polo. I don't know. But another great one. There's Timothy the Mouse from Dumbo. And here's the kitty cat. You all remember my kitty cat who loves to make a guest appearance? Come on. Just wonderful drawings. This section from Peter Pan is so great. Captain Hook almost getting eaten by the crocodile. Big fight from Lady and the Tramp. Tramp fighting the rat. Sleeping Beauty. There's Donald Duck's cousin, Gus. Monstro. Tyrannosaurus. Just awesome drawings. There's Eric Larson section. There's so much to learn from a book like this. Oh, man. The Ward Kimball section really impressed me. There's that turnaround of Jiminy Cricket that I was telling you guys about. You do every single view, turning his head. This is one of the best drawn model sheets as an example of what to do for a model sheet that you could see. And you'll never see something like this in a production that you work on for some studio. Nobody would ever go to these great lengths. Look at this walk of Jiminy. Stupendous. Reluctant Dragon. Just great. And this is the Three Caballeros. Great animation he did here of Donald and Panchito and Jose. The three woodsmen, hunters from Peter and the Wolf. They have the greatest walk cycle. He animated Taco's Bill. He animated the Lucifer and Tweedledum and Tweedledee. Mad Hatter Party, Cheshire Cat. When you see the drawings, you can't help but be inspired. And this section is Milt Call. And he's the guy that took Pinocchio from being this wooden puppet to looking more like a human with wooden arms and legs. And Walt said, yeah, okay, go with that. And then look at the difference between these animals in Snow White and a couple years later, Bambi. The design differences. Wow. The Bambi animals move like real animals. They studied them so much. He was considered the greatest draftsman of the 9 Old Men. And he would get these assignments that were the most difficult, like animating Shere Khan. Not an easy thing to animate a tiger with stripes. Animating the humans from Aristocats. 2 different foxes, Brer Fox from Song of the South and Robin Hood Fox from the Robin Hood movie. This is from Rescuers. Madame Medusa putting on a coat. Here she is yelling. Here's his Pinocchio animation. I think he said he did this first to show to Walt how they could handle that new design. And Walt said, yeah, let's go with that. But look at the drawings here. There's a cleanup. Here's a rough drawing. Look how rough he gets. Somebody has to go behind and clean it up to this. Probably him. So this is his crowning achievement, Medusa from Rescuers. It's hard enough animating a human, but to animate a human with this much personality and a mirror image at that. Now Frank Thomas, one of the greatest actors of the bunch. Just wonderful stuff he would do. He did Captain Hook from Peter Pan. He did the sequence with the 2 dogs eating the spaghetti and meatballs, Tramp and Lady. These are studies for Dalmatians. And Jungle Book. Stuff from Ichabod and Mr. Toad. So this is the dance sequence of Brom Bones dancing with a little lady. Exaggeration is just great. He did the Mad Queen from Alice in Wonderland, Queen of Hearts, Captain Hook, and one of the fairies from Sleeping Beauty, Madame Mim from Sword in the Stone. Then we get to Olly Johnston's section. His early stuff. Just spectacular drawings and animation these guys could do. Oh, man. So wonderful. Look at these drawings of Alice. Really difficult drawings. So hard to animate humans convincingly. And they could do it. They knew how to draw so well. Mr. Smee from Peter Pan. A lot of exaggeration here, contrasted with Alice, which was very straight. There's a dog from Lady and the Tramp. And Baloo the bear from Jungle Book. John Lounsbery animated a bunch of the gators from Fantasia. Some Dumbo getting drunk. The wolf from Peter and the Wolf. Get all the saliva dripping off and exaggeration with the lip curling. Brer Bear and Brer Rabbit from Song of the South. The giant from Mickey and the Beanstalk. Look at the exaggeration as I guess he's sneezing. Look what he did with the eyes. He stretched the eyes way up, made him a pinhead. Here, I guess he's making some sound, a sneeze, and as he comes down, his hair goes up and flattens out on the top. And look how solid these fingers are. Man. Cinderella. Alice. More Alice stuff. The father from Peter Pan. The waiter from Lady and the Tramp. The bulldog from Lady and the Tramp. It's the cop from Lady and the Tramp picking up some guy. The two bad guys from Dalmatians. King from Sleeping Beauty. Just spectacular drawings here. Highly recommend this book. Merlin from Sword in the Stone, one of the early Disney movies I saw when it came out. And Baloo dancing with King Louie in Jungle Book. And Mark Davis. Look at this. Drawings of Bambi expressions. Man. And these pastel concept drawings for Victory Through Air Power. This is the fight with the octopus from Japan. That's it, putting its tentacle over the Great Wall of China. The eagle of the United States military coming to take apart the octopus. Sketches for Song of the South. Here's Brer Rabbit. Sketches for Cinderella and Alice. Not easy to draw these human characters. Tinkerbell, he animated most of her, I guess. And he actually worked on Toot Whistle Plunk Boom. It's the owl professor showing us a couple different instruments. And then on to Sleeping Beauty. It is not easy to draw these characters. The Wicked Fairy, Maleficent. And then he did the bad guy in Dalmatians, Cruella de Vil. She wears this big fur coat, and underneath there's the skinny body, skinny arms, big hands, big feet. I go back to Bambi. He animated this sequence with, I guess there's some kind of reaction thing going on here with the skunk and Thumper. Cinderella, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent, Cruella. I highly recommend this book. If you wanted to learn how to animate really great personality animation, I would say get this book by Andreas. And you will learn so much. So until next time, keep drawing and keep having fun.